Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mias and welcome to my updated zombie combo video without Linkross, which is actually kind of huge because if we lost Linkross, it also meant that we lost Martial Marcher, which was a pretty good card. So how did I manage to make the deck viable again? Well, you're going to find out in today's video and probably should be tomorrow's deck profile and also a testing video that should be uploaded relatively soon. But before you start, friendly reminder once again to like and subscribe because it makes me really happy and motivated to keep making videos like these. And yet, let's jump right into it. So combo number one, pretty much the bread and butter combo. If you have Needle Fiber plus Banshee access, you pretty much have quite a lot at your disposal. So just the simplest and kind of worst way to do it, like the weakest cards that allow you to pull off this combo are Uni Zombie and Banshee. So Uni Zombie, really good. If it gets ashed, it's not the end of the world because with any other extender, you can still make Needle Fiber. And if it gets ashed, you still have the effect to discard from the hand. So Banshee is still playable. Whereas if you get Veilered, you kind of lose two effects in one shot, which is kind of nasty. And another thing that I want to mention is that Shiranui Solitaire, if it gets ashed or Veilered, it's kind of like the end of the world in a way, because if it gets ashed, well, you lose a body. And if you get Veilered, well, you just don't use the effect, but it's not like you were really doing much with it because it's not a tuner, so unless you have like a level 4 extender so you can make a rank 4, not really doing too much. But yeah, anyways, so I'm gonna pitch the Mizuki and I'll use the discard effect to pitch the Banshee, which is gonna, get revived with Mizuki. Now, Needle Fiber is going to summon Glow Bloom. At this point, if your opponent has something like a Cosmic Cyclone, if you go for Banshee right away to activate Zombie World, and then send, the Glow Bloom for Link Rebo or whatever, any Link 1, your opponent might just Cyclone your Zombie World that's already active, and your Glow Bloom will be forced to add the Zombie to your hand instead, and we kind of don't really want that. So the best way to play around that Cosmic Cyclone, or MST or whatever, is by going, Relinquish Anima or Link Rebo, Chainlink 1 Glow Bloom, and then Chainlink 2 Banshee, so it all resolves in one shot. Your opponent can just Cyclone right now, and, by the time your opponent will be able to get rid of your Zombie World, well, your Doom King is already on the field. So that's just the best way to do it. Of course, either way, you kind of lose to, what's this called? Skullmeister, but hey, you can't always have everything, so yeah, this is still the cleanest way to do it. Anyways, you can obviously make Vampire Sucker, revive back Doom King, draw one card, and we're going to draw another card thanks to Formula Synchron, which is a proactive way of triggering the Doom King to banish a card, a monster, from either player's field or graveyard, and it does not target. We always love those keywords, banish, so it doesn't destroy, and it doesn't target, and also it's not like you really lost to Lancia, because it is actually going on in your opponent's turn. Lancia can only be used during the opponent's turn, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, I have Lancia, I can only use it during my opponent's turn, and etc. So, yeah, gonna draw one card, and by the way, another thing that I want to clarify here is that the Formula Synchron to draw is actually an optional win effect, meaning that if it is summoned on Chainlink 2 or higher, it misses timing. However, the monster that I'm about to summon, that, quick sync with Formula Synchron and Doom King, is an optional if effect, meaning that it can be summoned in like Chainlink 75 and still actually trigger, and that card is Shiranui Sun Saga. So I'm gonna draw one card and use its effect on a separate Chainlink. And essentially, it becomes even better when you have like Shiranui cards in your graveyard because it has another passive continuous effect. But on summon, you can shuffle back any amount of zombie synchros from your graveyard back to your extra deck to pop cards your opponent controls. Once again, without targeting, up to the amount of zombie synchros that you shuffled back. And what a coincidence. Formula Synchron is a zombie synchro. Now you might be like, no, that's not true. It's a machine synchro. Well, read Zombie World. Or rather, should I say, have you read Zombie World? No, it's not Misk. It doesn't really work like that. Speaking of Misk, this deck completely destroys Dinosaur. No Misk in the grave. No Conductor Summon. Pale has to get rid of the cards from the hand. No Overraptor Monster Reborn. Oh my god. And even Misk doesn't even protect anything on their field. They still lose to all of your cards. So you can even Ash Overraptor for like the first time in history. So, hey, that's pretty nice. Anyways, let's go into combo number 2. Alright, so this combo has a lot of variations. Shiranui Solitaire plus Gozuki. I like calling it Shiranui Sage more. That was the original name of the card. But this is a really nasty 2-card combo, and you're going to find out right now. So Sage is going to summon Uni Zombie, which is going to pitch Gozuki. It's pretty unique. And by the way, another thing that I kind of want to clarify, when you have Zombie World, Uni-Zombie that can use the Send from Deck to Grave effect, and the Send from Hand to the Grave, well, which is actually a discard, relevant because it triggers dangers, it's always important to use the Foolish effect first, because if it gets ogred and you use the discard from hand effect, well, you're missing out on the, the best effect, which is the Foolish. So always use Foolish first, you have just more options. You can send like a Mizuki, then revive back Uni-Zombie, and then use the effect of discard from hand. So just making sure, because I do see a lot of people who actually completely misplay. So yeah. Anyways, Glow Bloom, Mizuki, revive back Gozuki, which didn't use its Foolish effect yet. This guy's really, really freaking good, man. It can actually send from deck to the grave, just like Uni-Zombie does. It's not a tuner, which is kind of bait, but not the end of the world. And also, if it is sent from the field to... if it is sent to the graveyard, you can banish any other zombie monster from your graveyard to summon a zombie monster from your hand. No caps on levels. You can summon Doom King and Eldritch the Golden Lord, if that matters. But yeah, please don't play Eldritch in this deck. It's just not... it's no bueno. Anyways, this is basically a 2-card combo that can make more interruptions, and we're just gonna count. So, Formula Synchron... you're gonna draw 1, and then you're gonna quick sync, assuming that your Doom King already used its 2 effects, so that's just 2 interruptions from the Doom King alone. Zombie World, let's just say it's like 0.5 interruptions, because it's only an interruption against decks that loses to Zombie World. If you have a Rivalry of Warlords as well, it's gonna be like the nuts. It's like there can only be one on crack. And obviously it doesn't affect you negatively, because all of your monsters are relevant ones are zombie anyways. So yeah, anyways, Sun Saga pop 1, and also, Masquerena into Unicorn. So that would be an additional interruption, which ends up being 4 interruptions with 2 cards. And you also have Zombie World and a follow-up because Doom King is still in the grave. That's pretty freaking nice. Anyways, let's jump into combo number 3. Alright, this is going to be a relatively interesting combo. The reason why I really want to showcase this is because when's the last time you actually saw someone know what they do, or what they're doing when they draw Doom King? And obviously I do play 2 Doom Kings, but let's just say you're drawing like one with, the standard original combos of, Solitaire plus Mizuki. What should you do, or what do you have the ability to do? So, once again, turn it into Uni-Zombie, which, once again, the beginning of the combo, kind of the same, but this time you're actually going to summon the Doom King, and you're going to pitch the Mizuki, revive back the Gozuki, which is going to send the Banshee. Of course, you always want to have a Banshee in the graveyard, because even if you get Nibiru'd, Zombie World plus Bloom or Doom King is already an instant follow-up, and this is the really sick part. So we had the Doom King that was summoned, and we weren't under the lock of zombies only, so we actually can make Shen Shen, which is kind of like the Dark Law. It's kind of like it's like a two-way Dark Law, which is kind of whack, because when you make Sun Saga, your Doom King gets banished, but we actually are going to have 2 Doom Kings, so it's not necessarily the end of the world. But, still, make sure you're kind of like aware, because it does affect you as well. But in case your opponent loses to Shen Shen, which is, like I said, this virtual word guy, generic by the way, well, you might actually make them so screwed that it doesn't really matter. So, pretty freaking fantastic. Let's jump into what should be the 4th and final combo. Alright, so this is, I want to say, by far my personal favorite. This combo is really fantastic, and if you have actually stayed until the very end, well, you will be rewarded, because this is pretty freaking awesome. And let's jump right into it without wasting any time. So Solitaire, of course, for Uni-Zombie, Page Gozuki, getting, flashbacks. It's not the first time that I'm doing this, but yeah. Needle Fiber, of course, Glow Bloom, alright. And then Mizuki for Gozuki, which is going to send another Mizuki, this time a little different. And you're going to make TG Hyper Librarian. Now, count the amount of draws that we're going to get. This is nasty. We have 0 cards in our hand right now. Look at what this is about to, pull. So, we actually have a Doom King in the field and a Mizuki still in the graveyard. So, we can link these 2 for Vampire Sucker. And we're locked under zombies. And we're reviving Needle Fiber once again, because Needle Fiber is a zombie in the grave. So, Mizuki kind of cheats the system when you have Zombie World on the field. Just freaking awesome. So, you're going to draw your first card. And then during your opponent's standby, Doom King comes back, so you draw 1 card because of Sucker. So this Sucker single-handedly drew 2. And then this is where TG Hyper Librarian becomes nasty. So Formula Synchron is going to draw 1 more card, and TG Hyper Librarian is also going to draw, so you have 2 draws in 1 shot. And then using the Doom King that, once again, just assuming they used both effects, and Formula Synchron, where you can make Shiranui Sun Saga, so pop 1. So that's like, what, 3 interruptions? Because, you know, negate, banish, which is proactive. You don't have to wait for your opponent to do something. You have Formula Synchron and Needle Fiber to proc it. And Sun Saga is going to pop an extra card, and you're going to draw 1 extra card. So draw 5, pop 1, negate 1, banish 1. All that just with 3 cards, but it's honestly really, it's much easier than you think, honestly. Like, level 5 Synchro for TG Hyper Librarian literally does this much. It's actually nasty, and all it really is just Bloom Synchro Summoning with any level 4. Like, how ridiculously easy is this? Like, it's a joke. And by the way, Mizuki is a level 4 Earth, meaning that if you can get, I was gonna say like Lua Bulb, but yeah, if you can think of like a level 1 tuner, like, I don't know, Tenyi Spirit Adara, play that in your deck if you really want a combo, you can actually make Naturia Beast as well. It's really up to you if you want to go that route, but yeah, just pretty fantastic. This is definitely playable in a control version, which is kind of what I play now. I play a lot of hand shops. I play Rivalry. I'm not going to show my deck right now, obviously. You have to stay tuned for all of that, but yeah, pretty freaking fantastic. Draw 5, interrupt your opponent quite a lot. All of that just pretty easy to do. So that's pretty much all I had to say for this beautiful zombie combo video case. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a comment, a like, a subscribe. That would be super appreciated. And I will see you very, very soon. Take care and peace.